Hello everyone and welcome back. Last time we were at Dr. Terry's water quality lab, but today we're in a much more familiar location, the kitchen.
We're going to be doing some awesome chemistry and baking cookies. Today we're going to be digging deeper into our study of units and looking at the ingredients and tools we use to make and enjoy our chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, we're going to see all of the fundamental units we've looked at, such as time, length, temperature, mass, all come together and see how they work in the kitchen. And then we're going to see a lot more unit conversions happen in real life.
The room right now is about 70 degrees, so 350 degrees will be a major temperature difference you'll be able to feel when you open the oven and put the cookie dough in. Remember to always be safe when working in the kitchen, just like we are in the lab in the field, and have a parent with you when cooking.
So inside the oven, you'll feel a whoosh of air come out at you because the air inside is getting heated up, and all that air moves around a lot more quickly when it gets heated up. That means that this air that's 350 degrees is going to rush out towards the air that's 70 degrees. That's a big difference in temperature. Inside the oven right now, all of those hot air particles are impacting the cookie dough and causing a chemical reaction to take place inside the dough, so that way it turns into that delicious treat we know and love.
Let's go ahead and look at our ingredients. We have butter, baking soda, flour, salt, the sugars, vanilla extract, an egg, and of course the chocolate chips. We can get a better sense of mass by looking closer at these ingredients. We brought the balance today, so let's look at butter first.
Yeah, so let's remember that we're using the imperial system because we're in the United States right now. So 1 stick of butter is 1/4 of a pound. That means that all 4 of these sticks of butter equal 1 US pound.
Now we need to wash our hands. Remember that the rest of the world uses the metric system, and their units of mass are grams and kilograms, but those aren't as familiar to us. Luckily, our chocolate chip friends can help us to understand. So here's 1 chocolate chip on the scale, and it's about 1/2 gram. So 2 chocolate chips is about 1 gram, and that'll help us to have a better sense of metric units in our lives. So how many grams is that stick of butter that Jonathan just worked with?
So remember, the butter was 1/4 of a pound in imperial units. But let's see how much it is in grams. It's about 114 grams. Let's see how many chocolate chips that should be. If there's 2 chocolate chips per gram, that means 114 grams will equal 200 chocolate chips, which we have right here. And voila, they weigh the same at 114 grams, the same as our 1/4 pound stick of butter. And voila, the chocolate chips weigh about the same as our 1/4 pound stick of butter at 114 grams.
So what about a kilogram? Can we get a sense of that using our chocolate chips? Of course we can. So we want to get a container that's large enough to hold the entire kilogram, and we'll put it on our balance, and then we tare the balance to make that mass subtract out, and then we're going to add our chocolate chips. So we know that there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, and according to our first relationship of 2 chocolate chips per gram, we know that there are about 2,000 chocolate chips here in 1 kilogram. So let's see that mass in real life. All right, there we have about 1,000 grams, 1 kilogram, and you can see that is a lot of chocolate chips.
So now we have 1 kilogram and 1 gram's worth of chocolate chips. Let's look at those side by side. You can tell that this is 1,000 times more mass than this 1 gram of chocolate chips. It's important to remember that weight and mass aren't the same thing. We can't interchange those two words because weight is dependent on gravity, whereas mass is just the measurement of how much substance is within something.
The more we think about units as we use common items, the more intuitive they become to us.
Yeah, for the rest of our baking, we're going to be using things like measuring cups and measuring spoons to figure out the amount we need for our recipe. These are great tools you can use to find out what units look like in real life.
Let's bake some cookies! So as Jonathan gets our cookies ready to bake, I have a question for you guys. If you were really hungry, would you rather have a chocolate chip cookie that was 3 inches wide or 3 centimeters wide? Let's think back to our previous videos and the tape measure that we looked at and the past unit conversions that we saw. So take a minute, write your answer down, and we'll be right back.
Now it's time to time how long we bake the cookies. Before, we used a watch to measure how much time went by. But there's another super helpful way to keep track of time. A stopwatch. Let's start that now. We're going to let them bake for 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, we'll take them out of the oven.
As the cookies are baking, make sure to clean up your mess and also be thinking about that question I asked you about cookie diameters.
The cookies are done. They look great.
And now for the answer to our question. If you said you would like a cookie with a diameter in inches, you are correct. You can see here that 3 inches is a lot bigger than 3 centimeters. So if you picked this cookie, hopefully you can have seconds.
The oven got much hotter than the ambient room temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. As the oven started heating up to 350 degrees, particles started to move much faster, making it easier for the oven to heat up. Next, we got a better sense of mass units, being that 3 chocolate chips are equivalent to 1 gram, and that 4 sticks of butter is equal to 1 pound, making 1 stick of butter 1/4 pound, or 113 grams. We also learned that 1,000 grams are in 1 kilogram. Lastly, we used the timer to make sure we baked the cookies in the perfect amount of time. Thanks for tuning in. Next time, we'll be working on our first word problems. See you guys later.